Hey there ladies and gents, KG16 here. I hope all is well with you. Today I have two replays for you in the Russian Tier 8 medium tank, the Object 416, and this tank has the best camo at Tier 8. I'll be showing you how to use the tank as the ultimate passive scout, if you like, and how in a Tier 10 lobby you can rack up some pretty decent assisted damage, which of course is great for progressing your marks of excellence. Now, just to give you an idea of what level of camo this tank can get to with the right skills and equipment, you can get a regular Tier 8 medium such as the Russian T-44 down to sort of 310 meters of still concealment, meaning that means that at a distance of 300 or 310 meters the enemy will spot you. There are other factors as well, your bushes, concealment, their view range, their camo, stuff like that, but that's essentially what that means. Then there are sneakier Tier 8 mediums out there such as the Japanese STA-2 and the STA-2 Black, which I've managed to get down to 286 meters, and then of course the Barrasque, which is a pretty darn sneaky medium tank at Tier 8, French medium, which I can get down to 260. In terms of TDs at Tier 8, the sneakiest is probably the American Panzerjäger, which I can get down to 210 meters, which is an unbelievable level of camo. But, ladies and gents, with the right skills and equipment, I've got the Object 416 down to just 183 meters of still concealment. That's just 10 meters more than tanks with insane camo like the E25 at Tier 7, which I can get down to 173. So I think this Object 416 is the best camo at Tier 8. I might be wrong, because I've got to be honest, I haven't checked all, 148 Tier 8 tanks in the game or whatever, but I'd be surprised if there was one that offered better camo. It's better than any Tier 8 light tank, any Tier 8 TD or medium, the best camo at Tier 8 full stop. That's what I think. Why is it the best camo? Well, basically, take a look at it. Its low profile is why it's just able to stay so hidden. And as you're going to see in these two replays today, we're going to exploit the tank's sneaky camo rating to farm assistance damage in Tier 10 lobbies. So, with optics and vents, I've got my setup to 497 meters of view range, which is not amazingly good, but it's decent. And with the tank's camo, it does mean you'll outspot most tanks you'll face. And as you may have noticed in this first replay, I've been consistently outspotting the machine there, but also the Barrasque, who's sitting in the bushes at K0. In fact, he's going to come out now, and I think in a minute he's going to go on the run and get himself into trouble. What about equipment on this tank? Well, I'm playing this tank with coated optics, advanced concealment and vents, crew skills, born leader, sixth sense, situational awareness, muffled shot, which gives you 35% reduction in your camo when shooting, camouflage expertise, rapid loading, which is to enhance the tank's already pretty good DPM, steady aim, silent driving. Now that's important on a tank like this or a Barrasque or something like that, where you're relying on camo, because it gives you a 55% reduction in camo when you're on the move. And then I've got marked target, which adds 3 seconds to an enemy's detected time once you've spotted them. And when you're trying to farm assistance for marks, as I am, I think that's a good skill. You could, depends on what you really prioritize, but you could go for another aiming skill or a mobility skill, such as reducing the ground resistances. Oh, there is the Barrasque. He's gone now, back to the garage. But yeah, I was consistently outspotting him, which is amazing. Consumables, enhanced repair kit, med kit and rations. I always put that on just to max out the tank the best I can. The enhanced rations gives you 10% crew performance on top of everything you've already got. And then when you press the activate button, it gives you 15%, so 10% passively and 15% actively. Now, onto this first game then. This is the Nebelberg map, which I've been quite enjoying actually, and I've been finding that the first position I was at there in this game is quite powerful at H0, especially for tanks with good camo. Just trying to feather out a shot on this FV4005, and I managed to get a shot into him there, but it's not a tank you want to sit out in front of, not in any shape or form. I'm a one shot for him. So, dicing with death, but I can trust the camo on this tank. I think Artie landed a shot in there just as we fired as well. So we got the kill, but we didn't get very much damage for that. But as you can see, we're already up to well over 5,000 assisted damage, which is pretty decent. If this game finished now, most people would be quite happy with a score like this in the Object 416. But the game isn't over. As you can see, there are 6 enemy tanks left, and we're going to do our best to do a bit more spotting now that we've moved from our original position to that secondary position where the Barask was, and now we're coming to our third position now, which is actually where the FV4005 was. There's a heavy tank over there. I think it's the French tier 9 or French tier 10. Yeah, it's a tier 9. I can't get shots on him. There's another medium tank in the middle, and here we just spotted a Death Star who, as soon as we say that, takes out our tier 9 heavy tank. So I've got to be careful here because there are some pretty big guns. Even the Jagdtiger is still in the game for the enemy tank, you know, with 500 alpha, 520 alpha, whatever it is. And I just don't want to get shot. So I'm just trying to be really, really patient and really, really careful, which I think is good advice if you want to see out the longer games in, if you want to have longer games in World of Tanks console, because that's where you get the bigger numbers. The longer the game's going, the more shots you can get in, the more spotting or tracking damage you can get. You just want to try and play a longer game. When you're starting a game in World of Tanks, don't think you need a YOLO in from the off and be, you know, trading blows with the enemies. Not in light tanks, definitely not. And I would say not in a tank like this, which is all about its stealthiness. The longer you stay stealthier, sorry, the longer your stealthy tank is in the game, the more dangerous you are, because you're out spotting tanks, you know, on half health or low health, and your team can just take them out. Alright then, so to be honest with you, I'm dying to move from this position along the K line, but I know that there's a Jagdtiger, and I can't remember if the Death Star's been taken out. He may well have been, so we're just going to come down in just a second and take a look in the sort of K5-6 area. But I'm just stalling because I'm just nervous about where these tanks will be. There is the TD. I get spotted, so I just immediately pull back. It is the Death Star. He was alive, and now he's not. So that leaves us the Jagdtiger, and then a tier 10 medium. I think it's a CS63, the one who shot me from the castle kind of area when I was at my first position. I don't know if you noticed that. So I'm going to be able to get some revenge on him shortly, as you'll see. But no spoilers. Let's see what happens here with these final 2 tanks. I'm pretty sure it's me lighting them up. Yeah, I'm getting the assistance there on the Jagdtiger. He goes back to the garage. Just the tier 10 medium, who's going to be presumably up on this mound where the Jagdtiger was as well. So let's just get up there, see if we can spot him, and if we can't shoot him, our team should be able to. We've got a TVP in the middle by the castle area and another medium. As you can see, a couple of heavies in the town, but there he is. We've spotted him. Can we get a shot on him? He's facing the other way. We aim for the back of his turret and fire one of these heat rounds straight into the back of his turret. So really good game for the Object 416 on Nebelberg. Quite a nice little map, I think. I don't know whether you've been enjoying it, but I think it's pretty decent. And that actually is something to tell you about this tank. Talking about the pen of those heat rounds, it's another amazing strength of this tank is the premium rounds. So if you fire them, don't expect to make any credits. But they have 330 millimeters of penetration, the heat rounds, which is enough to just butter through whatever you're going to see. E100s, Mauses, you know, as long as the armour's flat to you, you'll go through that no problem at all. So as I've been playing the tank, I've actually been just increasing the load out of the heat rounds, because I keep getting tier 10 lobbies, and it just means from a distance I can just pen tier 10 heavy tanks, which you would struggle to do on the normal AP rounds, by the way, which are only 221mm a pen. Both rounds as well, and the HE rounds, only have a shell velocity of 895 meters a second, so that's not great, and it does mean you have to give a fair bit of lead. But those heat shells are really, really good. Alright then, so we're into the second game, and this is Westfield, and I'd made up my mind straight away when I saw the spawn we got that was going to head straight for G0, and this is where we're coming to here. Thankfully our light tank isn't scouting. If he was a scout, he'd be up here doing what I'm doing, or going a bit further on, but he's not. He's going to sit and have a snipe, so that means I can be the eyes for the team. And what I'm banking on, as I just light up that tier 10 tank there, is I'm going to spot tanks out for the team, and I've got a whole massive gun line right behind us coming down the 0 line. You can see that. And if I can just light tanks up, I'm not even going to have to shoot them, I'm pretty sure. So I'm just making myself comfortable here. The game's, you know, 1 minute 20 seconds old, and I've got 1,000 combined. So IS-7's making a cross. Going to get a couple of shots into him. I did get lit there, so I'm just going to pull back because it's a tier 10 lobby. You don't want to get smacked by a Tehran or a Waffle or anything like that. So it was their light tank, by the way, that lit me, I'm pretty sure. The IS-7 wouldn't have seen me through the bushes there. So I'm just aware of the light tank there, who's, to be honest with you, freely patrolling that centre hill. And what you need to do as a light tank driver, our light tank is unfortunately dead, but if he was still alive, what we'd need for him to be doing is lighting up that light tank there in the middle of the map, because that's quite a powerful spotting position. I'm staying hidden. I'm using my camo in these bushes. I'm not really planning on going anywhere. I'm just going to continue to light up that IS-7, the light tank in the middle, and also we've got a heavy tank coming through the middle as well. I think it's an M103 if I remember rightly. And he's causing, yeah, there he is, just there. He's going to give me a bit of an issue if he sort of pops up and comes close to me. Thankfully, I don't think he does. So we just need to be mindful of him down there and just watch where he goes. So we've got an Object 257 there, and now crossing we've got an IS-4. And down there, tier 9 medium tank, or is it the heavy tank T41, whatever it's called. The auto-loading tank that they changed from a medium to a heavy. That's down there as well, and it looks like a Mausian. These are all juicy targets for my team. I just need to keep lighting them up. I don't need to take unnecessary risks like take a shot, as I did then. Again, I'm lit because I forgot about the M103, so somebody needs to deal with him. I'm going to try and get into a position where I can shoot him, and I can, thankfully. And I'm safe from the IS-4 and the IS-7 and the Object 257 behind me in this position. I'm going to come down and try and take him out, which we do with a cheeky auto-aim there. Alright, the plan is back to the bushes, basically. It's just rinse and repeat. We know it's working. We're basically, by lighting these guys up, we're basically stopping their push. Because if they push, they'll get farmed from the centre of the map and from this massive gun line behind me. As it happens, they're getting farmed from the massive gun line behind me, even without pushing. But this is what we want. We want to hold them off, and we want to trap them all in this corner. We've got Artie alive as well, and Artie's going to be able to do his worst on them as well, hopefully. I'm pretty sure they don't have any vision. Their light tank is gone. They do have a medium. I'm not sure where he is, perhaps in another part of the map. I think the medium is an STG, and I think he might be down in that. Yes, there he is there, Guardian STG. So they have no vision, They do have an arty who we can see is firing from somewhere along the K line. I was tempted to go for the lower plate of the IS-7. Am I going to shoot him? Yes, I do. 312, it's a little bit of a low roll with 320 alpha. We could have taken him out there, but anyway, it is what it is. Where are we at now? 6k combined. Can we get this any higher? We've just got to make sure we stay alive. We're on full health. We just got to make sure we keep lighting up the tanks in this area. You can see by where our medium is now approaching, I think that's a Tehran down there, is it? Oh no, ISU 152. Yeah, as our medium approaches there, unfortunately gets taken out, the Centauro. But that really showed us that there were no reds down there. So all of the reds must be in this one area. So we're dealing with Object 257, an IS-4, the Guardian STG and the Tehran are further down there, and then the arty somewhere in between all of those tanks. We can't drive in there and YOLO in, that will get ourselves killed. If we can get 2 of these tanks taken out by our team, then maybe. As you can see with these heat pen, with these heat rounds, guys, the 330 pen, you're able to go through the side of an IS-4 no problem at all, as long as you avoid the tracks, which because heat rounds will just get absorbed, as HE rounds do too when you fire at the tracks. I've decided now to make the move. To be honest with you, I'm going a little bit early. No spoilers, but I'm gonna eat a couple of shots, and what we need to do is just make sure we don't get killed. So I know the 257's there. He sees me, as does the Tehran. The 257 thinks, oh, there's a little blighter who's been spotting us this whole time. Just drives out in front of my team. I try and get a shot into him. I don't. I eat one from him, and then he meets his demise at the hands of our Object 257. So now it's just the Guardian and the Tehran and the arty. I want to try and spot the arty. There he is. I spot him. Get a good assistance on him as he dies to our E5. Ah, I missed that scrub shot there, that auto aim on the Guardian, and he returns fire and I eat a shot. Now how lucky was that? I'm on 19 hit points. That could have been me out the game. But I'm determined to get another shot in. There's the Tehran. Can we find a shot on this guy and just boost our score? We can. And that gives us a final tally of 2.7k actual damage and 7.9k assisted. So that's a massive game again in the 416, and I hope you're seeing, everybody, what an amazingly stealthy medium tank this can be, and it can pay big dividends at tier 10 when you spot for your team. So that's all from me today. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll hopefully see you all on the battlefield.